Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Really, who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's going to say she's never heard of carbs.
Picture this, Joy Behar sitting at that iconic table trying to play it cool, but Greg Gutfeld just dropped a roast so brutal, even her concealer looked like it wanted to tap out. Her whole vibe? Shaken. Mascara might have survived, but her ego? That thing flatlined on live TV. So what really went down? Did Joy actually lose it? Or did her pride just pack its bag?
Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. It now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's moo-moo. The motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is. She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every afternoon.
Bags and exit stage left. Whatever it was, this on-air clash was dripping in cringe, chaos, and unfiltered comedy that'll leave you watching through your fingers, while laughing your face off. Now Joy Behar ain't new to this game. She's been owning that chair for years, dropping sarcastic bombs and rolling her eyes with the kind of force that could shut down a preschool riot. She built her whole brand on spicy comebacks and...
Last week, Joy Behar accused Elon Musk of being pro-apartheid, but then begged him afterwards not to sue. Musk lawyers have yet to comment because they're still checking to see if it's legal to sue a cow.
Shots fired.
Just a legal question. I don't know why it's so upsetting. I don't make the rules in this country. All right.
And unapologetic opinions that slap harder than Monday mornings. But let's be real, even legends stumble. And today, Joy didn't just trip, she got verbally steamrolled by a guy who treats political commentary like it's open mic night at a Savage comedy club. Greg Gutfeld pulled up with jokes hotter than studio lights, and Joy? She got grilled like leftover lasagna. Greg Gutfeld isn't just a talk show host, he's a professional chaos conductor. The man could turn a press conference into a roast battle. His sarcasm hits like a sniper shot.
It's about the view. It's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Here, let's look at this political oddity. You know, it's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the sunk cost fallacy. You know, how can you now speak the truth and when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie? Now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're honest scum.
And when he's on one, nobody's safe, not even Joy Behar with a full panel backing her up. He doesn't just clap back, he composes symphonies of shade, complete with punchlines that slam harder than a steel door in a hurricane. Watching him in action is like watching Bugs Bunny walk into CNN with zero chill and full aim. And guess what? This showdown just rewrote the definition of awkward silence with a laugh track. When Greg Gutfeld locks in on someone, it's not just embarrassment. It's a full-blown takedown.
Out of some news, the feral monsters of The View say they've never heard of you-know-who. True, the show that makes mornings hell claim that my name doesn't ring a bell. It's time for...
Our view on The View. Ugh.
Yeah, the witch's coven finally shows me some lovin'. Yesterday on The View, yours truly was the subject of conversation. Apparently, the broads have no idea who I am, or so they say. Hit it, Gladys.
He doesn't just drag you. He steamrolls with the precision of a brain surgeon and the raw savagery of a toddler denied candy during a sugar crash meltdown. Now picture this, Joy Behar chilling in her cozy daytime throne, fully convinced she's untouchable. She's faced the wildest media storms and walked away smirking until today. Because out of nowhere, she got hit with a verbal ambush so intense it could have aired on reality TV. Or worse, one of those painful open mic nights where the jokes crash harder than the mic stand. But let's be clear, this wasn't friendly fire or witty banter. This wasn't just two TV personalities trading jabs over tea. Greg came locked and loaded, ready to strip down every layer of Joy's polished persona like it was fake designer, exposing every soft spot she didn't even know she had. He didn't start with a bang, oh no. He warmed it up with a smirk and some light pokes, teasing her latest political rants, those moments where she swerves from passion to pure confusion on air. But suddenly, it shifted. The man went full demolition mode. He didn't just disagree, he dismantled her whole vibe on live TV.
Terrible. Republican presidential candidate Tim Scott dropped by the Furry Five earlier today. And I thought the U.S. had a distinct policy against torture. He took the opportunity to call them out over crap Joy Behar recently said about him, specifically that he doesn't get systemic racism, which is like saying Brian Stelter doesn't get Ben & Jerry's. But Joy Behar gets racism after all. She's been black on Halloween. Yeah. But Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. But that is convenient, right? It's like one of my aunts dies every time Brian Kilmeade wants to hang out.
Piece by piece. Joy's bold TV presence? Reduced to shaky contradictions Greg lined up and knocked over like dominoes. It was wild. And the craziest part? He didn't even have to yell. No screaming. No name-calling. Just ice-cold sarcasm so perfectly crafted, it felt like it was cut by a master tailor. A custom-fitted verbal suit, sharp enough to slice through every bit of Joy's armor. The audience? Stunned. Joy. Scrambling. And Greg? Collected. Lethal. Let's get one thing straight. This wasn't a debate. No equal footing. No cute little back and forth. This was a full-on verbal smackdown, where Greg Gutfeld came to dominate, and Joy? She tripped mid-rant like a ballerina who forgot her steps under a spotlight. The vibe? Nuclear-level roast, delivered with calm precision. No shouting matches. No chaos. Just that eerie calm before the storm. Greg, sitting cool, calculating, while the audience had no clue what was about to drop. The man lit Joy up without raising his voice. It wasn't fireworks. It was surgical. Clinical. A quiet storm that left scorched earth in its wake. Joy had tossed out some of her usual hot takes recently. Classic sass, edgy zingers, the stuff she's built her
Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
Joy didn't just stumble, she surrendered. Quietly. Subtly. But in the middle of a high-stakes media chess match, where Greg Gutfeld played like a grandmaster. Every smirk he gave, every punchline he launched, calculated. And Joy, for once, had no counter-move. It wasn't weakness. It was vulnerability. And that's what made it hit so hard. This was the cost of being on 24/7. The emotional tax of always being the loudest voice in the room. And when someone like Greg shows up, swinging jokes sharper than truth, even the most seasoned pros can get caught slipping. Joy's ironclad image? It shook. Her trademark confidence? Flickered. The smirk? Gone. There were no witty roasts. No dramatic eye rolls. Just silence, heavy, loaded silence. And in that silence, you could see it. The panic. The search for a comeback that never showed up. No PR training can fix a moment like that. In a world where everything gets clipped, memed, and replayed in slow motion, this was a rare, raw crack in the image. And it reminded everyone watching, even the biggest personalities are human. Especially when the cameras don't blink. When you're in the game as long as Joy Behar, you learn to build walls. Sarcasm walls, deflection walls, walls made of pure, undiluted sass. And for years, those walls held strong. She turned public outrage into showbiz fuel and controversy into ratings gold. But every fortress has a crack, and Greg Gutfeld? He found it. This wasn't just an awkward moment caught on live TV. It was a full-blown cultural flashpoint. A moment so raw, so exposed, it stopped being about just Joy or Greg. It became about us. About what happens when the non-stop pressure to entertain, to perform.
Their brains are small. But who's the dumbest one of all? True, none of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sonny who mastered the art of making idiots look smart. Now, The View could ask a mirror who's the dumbest one of all, but there's no way that glass doesn't shatter.
To always be on, finally hits a breaking point. Greg didn't just win an argument. He triggered an online earthquake. Greg's verbal knockout wasn't just TV drama. It became a full-blown cultural event. The clip? It spread like wildfire, faster than a cat playing piano or a celeb tripping on stage. Except this time, the fall was all verbal, and it hit hard. Feeds blew up with debates. Did Joy just choke? Quickly turned into something deeper. How far is too far when comedy flirts with cruelty? Some called it genius, pure, punchy precision. Others said Greg went too hard, turned a roast into a character assassination. The internet split like a fresh scandal, half crowning Greg the new king of truth bombs, the other half defending Joy as a real one, finally showing her humanity. Greg's performance? Viral dynamite. Late-night hosts couldn't shut up. Commentators dissected it. Influencers memed it into oblivion. Every sarcastic jab got replayed like it was the Super Bowl.
You know, I make fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Those hens are always clucking. They get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, and then I get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, except on purpose. But every now and then, one of those dingbats inadvertently says something that reveals modern liberal thought so perfectly, it deserves further study. You know, like a weird serpent that washed up on the beach and you want to poke it with a stick.
Of savage. Greg didn't just show up, he leveled up. The dude went from sharp-tongued pundit to full-blown legend. The guy who could leave you laughing while casually destroying your entire argument on live TV. And Joy? She was left standing in the whirlwind, mascara intact, but the narrative spinning out of her hands. Sympathy poured in from fans, people who saw her stumble and called it strength. But others? Cold. Zooming in on her silence like sharks scenting blood. Her once unshakable aura? Under a microscope. One pause, boom, the whole internet watching, judging, choosing sides. Some weren't so forgiving. They pounced. Dug up old clips, past interviews, every dramatic eye roll and sassy hot take Joys ever dished out. Suddenly, the queen of daytime sass was getting grilled like leftover lasagna. Headlines didn't just question the moment, they questioned the legacy. Had Joy Behar lost her edge? The spotlight turned from warm and flattering to harsh and unfiltered. What once felt like classic Joy now looked like blooper reels and overcooked opinions. This wasn't just a clapback, it became an audit. But here's the real story.
Do you think it's a good strategy on the behalf of The View to pretend we don't exist when we know they know we exist?
That's a brilliant idea. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Gutfeld. I'm sorry, not ringing the bell.
Usually at the airport.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Huh? Really? I sit next to him? Really? No, this is what elitists do who can't, like, if you don't know who someone is, how did you know to automatically hate him? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, that's how fake and full of she is. Gutfeld, never heard of him. Don't like him. Why? Because why? That's why I just turned to one of my kids. Because why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who he is. Never heard of him at all in my entire life. But why? Because I don't know. because they are the last TV show to talk about high turnover. We've been rolling 3 steady for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't take breaks in the commercial to get away from each other. Well, that's what the drinking's for.
Yes.
This viral blow-up wasn't just one woman cracking on TV. It was a red alert flashing across the media landscape. Because now, every sentence is ammo. Every silence, a headline. Every slip, the potential career crater. Public figures are told to be bold, but never tired. Real, but never too real. It's a brutal tightrope walk. Entertain, but don't offend. Be authentic, but don't bleed. Let's be real, this ain't just another daytime beef. This is modern media warfare, where politics, personality, and punchlines crash together at 100 miles per hour with no breaks. Why does it matter? Because what went down between Joy and Greg wasn't just about shade, it was about survival. This moment exposed something raw. How long can these people wear the mask before it slips? How much realness can they risk showing before the internet eats them alive?
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I could be friends with a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly ideology.
Joy versus Greg wasn't just a spicy soundbite, it was a cultural mirror, a snapshot of the impossible standards, the 24/7 pressure, and the way we all tune in, popcorn in hand, to watch someone else crack. This isn't just drama, it's a warning. Fame's a stage, and sometimes, the lights don't shine. They burn. It's easy to laugh at the punchlines, but behind every zinger, a real person. One juggling ego, exhaustion, and the never-ending pressure to perform without fail. 11. This saga? It's not just spicy TV, it's straight-up gladiator combat. Microphones instead of swords. And trust me, someone's getting scorched next. Because this isn't banter anymore, it's war. Verbal combat where nothing's off-limits, and the audience loves every second. The next round? Oh, it's coming. And it's gonna be louder, messier, ruthless. Greg Gutfeld didn't just throw a hit, he raised the stakes. The media rulebook? Thrown out the window. The game? Every host, commentator, and diva better tighten up, because one viral clip is all it takes to flip your whole career upside down. So what's next for Joy Behar? Will she clap back with a vengeance? Or step out of the spotlight and let the flames die down? Nobody knows yet. But one thing's clear.
Do you think it's a good strategy on the behalf of The View to pretend we don't exist when we know they know we exist?
That's a brilliant idea. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Gutfeld. I'm sorry, not ringing the bell.
Usually at the airport.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Huh? Really? I sit next to him? Really? How many? No, this is what elitists do who can't, like, if you don't know who someone is, how did you know to automatically hate him? Like, I mean, that's how fake and full of she is. Gutfeld, never heard of him. Don't like him. Why? Because why? That's why I just turned to one of my kids. Because why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who he is. Never heard of him at all in my entire life. But why? Because I don't know. Because they are the last TV show to talk about high turnover. We've been rolling 3 steady for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't take breaks in the commercial to get away from each other. Well, that's what the drinking's for.
Yes.